Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be able to virtually welcome all of the students, parents, teachers, family and friends to the first of our 4-day virtual national finals broadcast. My name is Paul Flynn and I'm one of 2 National Directors of F1 in Schools Ireland. It's going to be an exciting few days for you all and we can't wait for you to see all of the cars compete. I do need to start off by saying a huge congratulations to you all for managing to compete in this year's F1 in Schools Challenge. As I'm sure you've all heard before, this competition is extremely tough and there's so much work that needs to go into it. And it's even tougher when you're not able to meet up with your teammates in school or outside of school. So well done to you all for persevering, and I hope that you all feel the benefit of having taken part in the competition in the years to come. This year's competition would not have been able to proceed without the generous support of a number of our sponsors and collaborations. Our title sponsor, Medtronic, have been instrumental in facilitating this competition, allowing you to continue working on your project and continuously develop your skills. The Facebook Data Centre in Clonee has also been an amazing sponsor. This year we've added a new award, the Facebook Engineer of the Future Award. NUI Galway and CJJ Motorsport have been a massive help over the last 2 years also. Our manufacturing partners, the University of Limerick, Takumi Precision Engineering and Nissan UK, have been instrumental in making sure that your car bodies are to the highest quality standard. A total of 60 teams competed in the national finals this year, and the race to become national champions was so close. As you know, the judging sessions held in mid-April consisted of over 200 interviews with 54 different judges. Every one of our judges were blown away by the professionalism and the confidence that you all showed during your presentations. This competition is recognised globally as more than just a car race. The holistic nature of the competition introduces students to the possibility of a future career in STEM, while also developing your problem solving, project management, communication, presentation, teamwork, innovation, self-promotion, collaboration, marketing and entrepreneurial skill set. In fact, students who have done the competition have gone on to found their own companies, pursue their love of STEM and also gone on to work with real Formula 1 teams. As you know, every team sent their cars to us to be raced remotely. We would have loved if you could have been there to see all of your hard work racing down the track at over 100 kilometers an hour. Despite this, we will be showing you all of the races over the next 4 days so that you can experience the excitement and drama of a real F1 in Schools race day. From today, the 20th of May, until Saturday, the 22nd of May, we will be broadcasting all of the time trial races on our YouTube. These races will also include snippets of your race interviews and including some guest speakers as well. On Saturday, the 22nd of May, we will be announcing the winners of the following awards: Best Engineered Car, Fastest Car Award, Best Social Media, Best Newcomer, Best Enterprise and Pit Display, the Innovation Award, the Women in Motorsport Award, the Team Identity Award, the Best Verbal Presentation and the Best Communicators. On Sunday, 23rd of May, our televised national finals will be live on TG Car. This is the first time an F1 in Schools event has been broadcasted on television and we can't wait for you to watch it. During the televised broadcast, we will be announcing our national champions, 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place in Collaboration Award, the Facebook Engineer of the Future and the Knockout Cup champions. We will be inviting our top 4 teams to represent Ireland at the World Finals due to be held in Singapore in September. Let's find out who comes out on top. Best of luck and we hope you enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the F1 in Schools Ireland Virtual National Final Racing Element. It's time trial action today, coming to you from Ballina, County Mayo, where the time trials were recorded just a few weeks ago. The fastest time trial ever recorded in Ireland still belongs to Ignite Racing, a record of 1.048 seconds. And this year's 60-team F1 in Schools event sets the record for the largest F1 in Schools event to date. So, time trial racing then, Paul. We know what the story is. You're racing not against the person on track beside you, but racing against the clock. It's all about that average, not just the fastest overall time. So just to explain maybe a little bit about how time trial racing works, do you want to take us through the scoring system?
Hi Aaron, yes, so time trial races today. Each team would have 2 races on each lane, so 4 races overall. The average time of those 4 races will determine which place that you seed for the knockout cups. So for the fastest car award, all we're looking for here is your fastest time over 1 race, not the average time. So keep an eye out for those milliseconds. The points scored for the time trials is all relative to the fastest time. So your overall time is what matters in terms of points. And if you don't finish the race, it will be qualified as a DNF, and you will be given a time of 10 seconds overall.
Yeah. So, and then for your average point calculation, your slowest time is added again in any case with DNF. So when you're watching the graphics today, look down the left-hand side graphic during each race to see who's in the hunt for Ireland's fastest car. Those are ranking the fastest overall times. And at the end of each race, we'll show a summary of the average time so far and what your seeding looks like for tomorrow's Knockout Cup event. So without any further ado, let's get straight to the racing.
It uses an integrated design. So we integrated the nose cone as well as the nose cone, front wing, and front axle as well as integrating the rear wing with the rear axle, which makes it lighter as well as more aerodynamic.
How many different versions of the car did you create since you started out last September, October?
Between last year and this year, 46 different front wing versions with 5 different bodies.
If you end up winning today, what's in the car that's going to make that happen?
Definitely the design of it. I think the design's quite unique. Although there is a more there are more unique cars out there, but I think ours is a niche. It's a bit different than the other ones.
Definitely looks so. I can see exactly what you're talking about. And what would it mean to you guys to win an award today or be crowned national champions even?
Oh, it'd be amazing.
So, 2 experienced hands, Pro Force versus Swift. Let's see how they get on here in race 1. Really interested to see how the Swift car goes, Paul. Obviously, his Fiawas racing last year performed really well. Wonder what's going to happen on track.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to this one. Let's see how it goes.
That's out, away we go. First race, Swift racing with a 1.258, taking the time there. But we've got a track team incident. Looking at the replay here, you can see that Swift car really hits the towel quite hard there, and it's taken some damage on the nose. Now, as you can see, we've been able to put that together on the repair table. Done an excellent job here. He's got Swift racing back on track.
So we've deemed this race worthy again, and we're good to go for the second race. Let's see how it goes.
Lights out, away we go.
And another great time from Swift Racing, and they actually improve on the second race. So very good, top of the leaderboard already.
The Swift racing car after their second race, and unfortunately we've got a lot of damage along that front axle. So you can see here on the first race we had breaks at 5 or 6 different points on the front wing. Now Mark was able to repair these and put a lot of tape there together, so that actually stayed together in the second race, but then it seems like the impact was transferred through the axle, which has just shattered here. So you can see where we had added reinforcement tape to keep that 3D printed front wing onto the foam body, but unfortunately it's looking really, really hard to put that axle back together. And on top of that, we've got a broken tether line as well. So unfortunately, it seems like that might be the end of the line in terms of racing for Swift racing. But really unfortunate. You don't want to see that kind of thing, but just emphasizes the importance of testing out and doing FEA analysis to make sure that your car can sustain the level of impact that you see at the end of a race.
Yeah, and again, looking at the replay here, you can see Swift getting across the line first. A bit of daylight there between themselves and Pro Force, but not what you want to see out in the second race.
Just so unfortunate for Swift Racing. I know they'd be so disappointed seeing that, but they did set 2 good times, which is no harm, and they have the fastest time so far, and it will be a big time to beat. They stayed out of this race, so Pro Force race alone.
And Pro Force are away. Can they improve? That's a 1.370, the best they've had so far, but still a little bit of drift in Swift racing.
Yeah, I think we may have a fast lane here, Aaron. We'll soon find out. Lane 2 seems to be the lane to be on right now. Or lane 1, I should say.
Yeah, no, lane 1 seems like a really interesting one. Let's see, can Pro Force improve this time? They don't, but they do set a time of 1.370 as their fastest overall. Let's have a look at the leaderboard summary.
So how did you approach your sponsors, and how did you try to stand out to them and get kind of money and material from them?
Well, we support bees as well. It's a big part of our project, raising awareness for bees. So bit 2-in-1 for our sponsors. Not only are they supporting a group of 16, 17-year-olds in a school project, they're also supporting a group that are raising awareness for a worthy cause.
A lot of our car design, we like took inspiration from planes and how planes, you know, aerodynamics and stuff.
We've been checking out our local competition, and it's more friendly competition. We're not in big competition with them, but yeah, we've been looking at their cars and how they're marketing their team as well.
What would it mean to be our Irish national champions today?
It would be incredible.
So, from two experienced hands to two newcomers, let's see if they can bring some new ideas to the track. Paul, what are your thoughts here? Sting versus Hurricane, who's going to come out on top?
I don't think I can call this one. Newcomers are always so unpredictable, but you know what? In the past, we've had some excellent newcomers. So let's see.
Away they go. Looks like
It's
Hurricane
tight.
have got it. They have 1.556. Let's have a look at the replay. That was very close.
Not much to split them there at all, but it's good those lasers can pick up to the 1,000th of a second. So yeah, Hurricane across the line a bit quicker, but let's see if Sting can improve here.
Yeah, I think if they swap lanes here, it'll be interested to see how the times compare then. We'll really see if we have a fast lane in that case.
So great stuff from Hurricane. They've knocked off a 10th of a second to improve to 1.449. One thing to point out, Aaron, is the back wings. They're very different in design. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So obviously we've had a bit of controversy this year in terms of adhering to the rules, in terms of all the teams getting a legal back wing. You can see an example on the Sting car there of a really well-designed back wing, but it seems to be slowing them up relative to that Hurricane car. Great time from Hurricane again there, but again, they'll be paying for that back wing on the specifications.
So here's the fourth and final race here between Hurricane and Sting. Sting really do need to get ahead there in this one.
And Hurricane take the win again, a 1.596 there in the end.
Sting quite consistent throughout, and not a bad time in the end overall.
It gives you like a real sense of independence because there's no like helping you along. You have to go out and get the sponsors yourself.
Probably our front wing design. It's pretty unique in the competition from what we've seen of other cars, so we're pretty happy with that.
I'm just hoping all the time we put into designing the car is going to pay off. Yeah, we put a lot of time into it, so I'm hoping it all comes together for the last bit.
What makes your car the best car here today?
The aerodynamics of our car sets us above the rest, and we should be great to see how it works out.
Carex Racing, I absolutely love the name. Tell me how you came up with that.
We were thinking of other names that we can use in English, but it didn't sound cool enough, so we looked through in different languages, and we came up with Carex Racing, which means rapid speed and fast movement in Latin.
So I am excited for this race because these two teams were right up the top of the engineering portfolio marks. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, interesting design from Carex. Definitely different from everyone else. Very innovative. So let's see how this works out.
There's an incident on track. You can see a wheel gone there. Kingspan with a 1.267. That's the second fastest overall. But let's have a look at the replay. What happens here? So you can see a little bend off the line there from Carex. And there you go. Wheel off there in the middle of the track. And that's a DNF result then.
Yeah, just to explain the DNF rule there, Aaron, if anything detaches from the car during the race, this is classed as a DNF, even if they do cross the line and set a time. As long as anything falls off, then that race is classed as DNF and you'll be given a time of 10 seconds overall. Really, really unfortunate. Yeah, hopefully Carex can. We've made the fixes and hopefully they can finish this race off in style and beat Kingspan here. Kingspan with a really, really impressive portfolio on start of the year in terms of verbal presentations as well. So let's see how they have.
Wow, Kingspan getting really quick here again in the 1.3s. It's a great time. Let's see how they go on the other lane then. Is that the fast lane?
So the third race here now. Kingspan off the line quickest again.
Yeah, really quick off the line, but that was
Got a
close
really quick
overall.
time. They're
Yeah,
into the 1.2s now, so they're knocking time off here. One thing that we do like to say is the cars do tend to get a little bit quicker as the races go on. Maybe their bearings loosen up or their wheels loosen up after being in transit for so long. But yeah, Kingspan credit to themselves, they're going quicker.
absolutely. Can they overtake Swift at the top of the leaderboard? Seems not. The 1.292 just not enough to get that average time fast enough.
Well, of course, our car went through rigorous testing to test its aerodynamics. So it is possibly the most aerodynamically efficient car that's going to be on the track today.
We feel we stand a good chance. We're all very confident with the car and how it's turned out. And we're just excited to see how it gets on in all the races and how we fare against our competition.
For the side pods, we have a lot of tunneling kind of to direct the airflow. And that was something we were actually thrilled with how that turned out with the CNCing.
Your car is about to race. How are you feeling about it?
Anxious, definitely anxious. A lot of time and work has gone into this, and we really hope it does the absolute best and shows how hard we tried on it.
Really interested to see how this Quicksilver car goes. Again, a great engineering portfolio here. And I really like the look of the overall design there. It's pretty unique. It's got a foam front wing element with just a small 3D printed plane there. Let's see how it goes. It's out, away we go. Quicksilver cars. Quick go! My God, look at that. That is a big hit.
Wow, that is a huge impact. I have to say though, their time will count because the start gate, or the end gate, sorry, is behind the laser, which means that the car passed the line before it had impact with the end gate. So that time will count, but that is a huge impact. And we've actually looked at the replays and nothing had broken from the car until it hit the end gate, which is why the time will stand. But that is a huge impact, and there will be a huge repair job on here for Team Quicksilver. I can't explain that, Aaron. It just seems to pop up off the track and smash the end gate. And yeah, it's something we don't like to see here at F1 Suits. It's a good thing, and you can see Peter's reaction there. He is in shock. But the good thing is we got the car repaired and we've got it racing again. There has been a few touches of glue and a little bit of tape as well. That's needed, maybe a lot of tape, but it's on track, race worthy, ready to go for the second race.
Yeah, incredible. At this time, they're really quick. They're the fastest team overall. What a turnaround in fortunes for Quicksilver. 1.217. You can see there that taped front wing is just about holding itself together. They just about managed to get the front wing plane in. Incredible
the MJ
performance.
Foot car ready to MJ Foot car not past the line just yet, but hopefully they can set a time here.
And they do, but Quicksilver go even faster again. 1.213. What a turnaround fortunes for the Cork team. And you can see that wing profile, really interesting. They've managed to get it back on track. Let's see how they can finish off.
There's some excellent times in Quicksilver. Really, really consistent, which is great. And they do go third overall in terms of average times, but they have the fastest time so far. So they are in contention.
It's been difficult since lockdown. We had to close down schools and we weren't able to speak to each other. But through the Zoom and all, and we finally got to contact each other a bit more. We really came together as a team.
And we got together as a team, like just knowing each other in school.
So Gonzalez aiming to be the first national champions coming from Wexford. Invictus, their fellow Leinster challengers. Paul, you've had a look at the cards?
I have, and it's apparent that the paint hadn't fully dried before this was sent, as there's a kind of a bubble wrap marking around the car. But look, that might help the aerodynamics. We'll see.
See, well, it doesn't seem to have done Invictus any harm because they're first across the line here. It's a time of 1.369. I think that's the third fastest we've seen so far, is it? Third, fourth fastest so far, and they're well up the leaderboard. Judges setting them up, ready to go again.
This is the setup required. Obviously, the canister chamber is a little bit tight on that canister, but we're good to go again. And yeah, let's see how they go. So interesting back wing again for Gonzalez. They might take a bit of a hit there on the specification scoring, but let's see how they go here. At 1.376 for Invictus, that's a consistent timing from them. Now Gonzalez is swapped lanes, so let's see if this is a fast lane for Gonzalez. Hopefully they can beat Team Invictus this time.
Yeah, I sat in on one of the Gonzalez presentations. Excellent team, a lot of fantastic work put in. And 1.76 is not going to feature too badly overall at the times. But Invictus, again, really pushing towards the front of the grid and loving that back wing design. Looks really sleek, complies with the regs. Looks really good.
Fourth and final race here. Invictus take the win again with a 1.388. And that leaves them in fourth place overall in terms of average time. So yeah, well done, Invictus.
Talk to me about the lovely car we see in front of us, guys. What makes it stand out from the rest?
Our design engineer, Louis, helped us make a design stand out the most. With in our wheels, we have holes in them to make the car lighter and more aerodynamic.
Have you been checking out your competition?
We've recently checked out the Mars car and hoping we can beat them.
Well, let's see if it will be a success for Mario Kart.
We're sorry to all of our Italian listeners having to listen to that. So Mario Kart here, a team of all girls from Killarney, really passionate team. First time entering the competition. So Mario Kart limping over the line there, but Flight Racing taking the win with the 1.5. Brilliant time.
Excellent performance overall there from Flight Racing. Let's see if Mario Kart can plumb the gap between the two of them.
Yeah, interesting color scheme here as well, with the kind of purple and green.
Excellent times there again for both. Back to the start, they swap lanes. Let's see how they get on.
So Mario Kart, one of two teams from St. Bridget's King Killarney. They've swapped lanes now. So this is the third race, and let's see what happens here.
See some damage on the front of that flight car there. It seems like the front wing is taking a bit of a shunt somewhere along the way. But it doesn't matter. They set a 1.647 and that puts them in the lead in this one.
So obviously their aerodynamics haven't been harmed too much, but I did think that front wing's a little bit exposed for the impact that it was going to take at the end of the line. But look, it's race worthy, it's good to go, and it's winning the race. So
away they go, and it looks like Flight Racing have got across first again, 1.606. Overall, that puts them in the top 10. They're in 8th.
Yeah, and Mario Kart just outside the top 10 there. Really unfortunate, but look, they have a chance again at the Knockout Cup.
Well, personally, on social media, I've seen a couple of the cars, so I've seen the designs of some of it that we've been following in Ireland.
How are your nerves today?
I feel very excited. I feel a bit nervous because it's many hours to design this.
Yeah, so for the car, we really worked hard as a team to make sure it was the best it could be. I think something really unique with our car is that the rear wing was actually designed by Emer and the front wing and the wheels were designed by Column. So it was a whole team initiative, and I think the lofted feature at the back that's in the shape of a bullet is really going to help our car, and that the end plates is something that we haven't seen in any team before, and we hope they'll perform well.
BCS versus Ishka. Paul, you were doing the specs on the Ishka car and you noticed an issue.
Yes, so it came in underweight. The penalty, unfortunately, is for every gram underweight that you are, you have 2 grams applied to the car.
1.392 there. It seems like the extra weight didn't harm them too much, Paul.
Yeah, but they could go quicker again. As we know, force equals mass times acceleration. So if you can reduce the mass, acceleration gets bigger, gets larger, and they go quicker. But yeah, BCS. Let's hope they
See
go
how they
quicker
get on
again
here. That's actually really close there. It's a 1.426 from BCS. They're just behind Ishka with 1.344. We're really interested to see now how it goes on this lane. Will BCS be able to speed up on that far lane?
Really interesting back wing design from Ishka as well. The curved back wing is something we've seen at previous world finals. So they've really taken inspiration from them, it seems.
Again, a little bit of tape on that. Seems like it might have taken. Wow, that looked really close. And it is BCS Falcons that take the win at 1.447. This is close. Let's have a look at the replay. Really slow this down. We're waiting for it to come through. Wow, that is like that is 1 car length between the teams.
Yeah, and only I think 400s in it as well. It's hard to pick up with the naked eye there, but luckily the camera was able to pick that up. So last race here for Ishka and BCS. Again, like you said, Aaron, that back wing is being held together for Ishka, but it hasn't been moving too badly.
See, this is close again. Wow, Ishka come back to take it at 1.366. That puts them in the top 5. BCS in 7th overall on the average times.
So the competition was brought to our attention by my brother. He's in a different school and he's competing as well.
Our team is called Hexagonal Racing because there's 6 sides to Hexagon, and 6 sides represent us, the 4 members, and also the teacher, and most importantly, the car. We feel like that best represents us.
What's the best part about your car?
Oh, our car, huh? I have to say the shape, man. The shape is just aerodynamic, just purely designed to fly. Like, just as even as fast as possible. Just we've designed it so there's like no bits fair to get caught, and just to like fly fast as easy as possible.
Fantastic.
So it's Cavan versus Kerry, 2 newcomer teams. Interesting wheel design there on the Mounthawk Motors car. Is that some? That's not a flat tire anyway.
Yeah, and that is part of the regulations as well, that no treading can be on the tires. So they may take a hit on the specification scoring there, but they do get across the line here.
So Hexagonal not making it that time. Again, the car was quite heavy when it came in. I think we weighed it at over 100 grams. That is definitely going to hurt your acceleration, but let's hope they get across the line in this one. Both quick off the line again. And seems like Hexagonal just stopping there in the middle of the track.
So Hexagonal, a team that's been very vocal on social media as well. I was really looking forward to this. Hopefully, I'm hoping the best for them here now, and they can get across the line this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say, I'm a big fan of the Instagram story quizzes from Hexagonal. One of my favorite items this year. Just short again, but again, it's a decent time set there from Mounthawk Motors, 2.34. That gets them on the leaderboard, I guess.
So 4th and final race here between Mounthawk and Hexagonal.
Let's see, lights on, and they're out, and away we go, and we're down the track again. And Mounthawk make it across just about 3.207, but unfortunately, no finish for Hexagonal. Neither break the top 10. Next up, who have we got?
So what real-world F1 team do you think your team is most similar to?
McLaren, the Red Bull, and the Mercedes car. Pretty close to them.
What would it mean for you guys to win an award today, or perhaps even be crowned national champions?
it would be absolutely amazing for the team and the school community and everything. It's our first year in the competition. We came in with a lot of passion and not knowing a lot about the competition, but it's all been a learning experience, and it would mean so much to win anything.
What is the biggest skill you've acquired over the last year?
Time management, getting things done and in on time is a big thing.
The teamwork was massive.
Tell me about this beautiful car we see in front of us here.
We took a lot of aspects from aerodynamic animals, and in the safety analysis, it's looking fairly good, so hopefully it should be okay.
Just be as fast as possible, I suppose.
What would it mean to your team to be our Irish national champions here today?
I think it'd mean a lot to all of us.
We're hoping we'll do well anyway because we've put in a lot of effort over the last year.
CM Motorsport, the first from their school. Also newcomers in Mill Street Community School, Cork for Silent Flyer. Paul, you've been mentoring the CM Motorsport team. High hopes here?
Yeah, I think so. They seem to be enthusiastic about the competition. Their car has taken a little bit of a hit there, so it has been repaired. But that is always the danger with the small surface contact area between the front wing and the main body, as you can see there. But it's race ready and it's good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And not a bad time there. Puts them into the top 4 on fastest times. Let's see how they go here. Again, they're ahead, and the Silent Flyer car just doesn't make it across in time, unfortunately.
Yeah,
just
I think the problem there. I do think the problem here with the Silent Flyer car is that front wing is dragging slightly on the track. It doesn't seem to have the 1.5 mil clearance that we look for in F1 schools cars. It does just seem to be adding that extra bit of friction to their race, which is slowing them down throughout. So let's see how they go here.
And CS had a really good time. Excellent.
So that's the danger with making sure that these cars are adhering to all of the rules before they arrive. Just even testing them on a rolling surface to see how they roll is really, really important test for all the schools and teams. But they don't get across the line here either, unfortunately. So that's 4 DNFs in a row for them. But CM Motorsport, they do break into the top 10. In 7th overall. And next up we have Tintruck versus Riccioso.
We went through many options for our teammates, and Tintruck seemed to stand the most out to us as lightning speed. We hope that our car will be fast for the racing.
I think another skill we all learned is like working in a team and working together.
Project management was definitely a big thing for us. We've learned now to delegate jobs. It's definitely a skill that will stand us.
We did a lot of research on aerodynamics and how to improve the speed and just the overall shape. And we tested it out using CFD and virtual wind tunnels, which greatly helped us.
We wanted our team to represent our county as much as we could, which is Meath, obviously the Royal County, and Riccioso is royalty in Irish.
Talk to me about your car. What makes it stand out here today?
So we've curved our rear wing to get it as close to the back of the car as possible to create as little drag and as much downforce as possible. We feel like our car will be the fastest.
So this is the battle. 2 of the most well-finished cars in the paddock. Riccioso versus Tintruck. Both of them lacquered extremely well. I love the detail in that Riccioso car. Similarly, the Tintruck one looking excellent. Let's see how they get on.
Wow, look at that. Riccioso, the 1.205, but there is an incident. What is it, Aaron?
So it seems like that Riccioso car took some damage. You can't really see it in this angle, but there's a bit of tape there applying that front wing to the rest of the body. It's race worthy now. That was an excellent time, 1.205. They take top of the leaderboard. Can they do it again?
No, they just add a couple of hundredths of a second on there. But one thing I would say about the finish is that it reduces the friction of the airflow over the car, which really cuts off those milliseconds. And Riccioso are really, really benefiting from that beautiful, beautiful finish in the car, taking top spot by 8 milliseconds. And here they go again. They're across the line first. Tintruck, not a bad time there with 2 seconds. Unfortunately, was a little bit longer than they would have liked. Let's hope they improve here.
Okay, so final race then. It's Riccioso versus Tintruck. Can Tintruck improve? Can Riccioso set themselves further apart at the top of the leaderboard? Lights out, away we go. Wow, that Riccioso car is quick. We have an incident on track. Is that a DNF there for Tintruck?
it seems something came across the line there, and you can see, unfortunately, the wheel follows the car across the line, and that is classed as a DNF. You can just see the car, the wheel detaching there. Really unfortunate for Tintruck, but they can be proud of what they've achieved here. And Riccioso goes second overall. So Swift Racing still have the top flight, top number there.
Talk to me about the lovely car we see in front of us here.
We're using high performance materials such as stainless steel and carbon fiber.
Have you been checking out the competition?
All the teams' cars look great and their brands look amazing and everything. I still think we could do quite well. I think we have a good chance.
We'd be the first team of all women to be the champions of Ireland. Our whole ideology is to promote STEM to women.
The name comes from a technique used in Formula One racing known as ground effects. We just thought it would be really interesting and cool to pay homage to the history of Formula One.
Our car stands out here today because of the extensive research we did and the collaboration of all our engineers on the team. We put a lot of work into the 3D modeling and aerodynamics of the car.
So this is future racing versus ground effects. Really interesting design for the future. That back wing is only attached in one place, so it's something I haven't seen before, Aaron. I don't know, have you seen it?
Yeah, it is really interesting. First time I've seen it too. And that's a 1.251 from Future. Puts them pretty close to the top of the leaderboard. Ground effects at a competitive time too, though. Keep an eye on them. Paul, you're not happy with the stickers on the Future car, though?
Yeah, I think the flame stickers, they're aesthetically very pleasing. It's a pretty cool concept, but I don't know if that's going to help their aerodynamics. It might cause a little bit more of friction over the airflow of the car, but it's moving pretty well. So let's see if they can improve their time for the third race. They've swapped lanes. The bearings on the Future car are really moving well. I know of some that are really, really top class bearings. So yeah. Let's see how they go in the third race here. They have gone third quickest so far.
Let's have a look then. Future across the line, 1.229. They do improve. Where does that put them on the leaderboard? I think that's going to put them into third overall. Ground effects, though, quietly going about their business here. The team from Longford, one of the first teams from Longford in F1 schools, and they're in the top 10 as well. Future then, fastest of them all, 1.215. That puts them overall average on top of the leaderboard, displacing Swift. Let's see who's up next.
Yeah, we've gathered a lot of experience during this entire process, and I think we are able to apply it to all of our future careers as well. And I think it's piqued interests in STEM altogether.
I went into this with no knowledge of manufacturing, and it's really, this competition has propelled me to learn how to 3D print objects, how to model it for the 3D printer, as well as CNCing.
I'm speaking with Vort Nova from St. Bridget's College in County Galway. So what does that name mean? How did you come up with that name?
Our name, well, when we started off the competition, we knew our team identity was of huge importance to us, so we spent lots of time debating different ideas for team names. So a basic idea of what it means is a firming centre of brightening energy. So we thought that suited us.
Well, if this isn't the clash of the titans, because we have Hadron Racing from Sutton Park School, we have Vortenova from St. Bridget's Lochray. For those that remember last year's virtual national final, these are the schools that finished first and second last year, and they've been drawn against each other here, Paul.
Yeah, really exciting draw. I'm looking forward to this.
Vortenova, that is quick. Looking at the replay here, hard to see much from that top view. Actually, you can see something fly off there. Okay, just look there in front of the finish line there. You can see an object just flying across. That's a bit of that wheel from the Hadron car. So unfortunately, it's a DNF from them.
Yeah. Vortenova here, honorable mention to the finish of their car. It is the most beautiful piece of painting that I've ever seen. You can't even tell where the 3D part finishes and the car body starts. That's how good that finish is. There's no cracks or anything in that paint. It's brilliant.
1.246 is pretty quick as well. That's going to put them somewhere around the top few. Hadron Racing will be looking to improve, but 1.5 is not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I do think Fortunova will want to break into the 1.1s here, maybe even 1.0s if they can. Let's see how they go.
Can they do it? They can. That is the fastest time overall. It's a 1.190. Paul Flynn, he's called it there.
I have, and look at that. You know, that design is just minimize the weight. It's really, really optimizing the airflow around the car. It's an exceptional design. Hadron here will want to improve. You know, they have been drawn against a great car, but that's not a bad time either for Hadron. 1.481. And Fortunova do add a couple hundreds for that fourth race, but they go top of the leaderboard with a 1.223, displacing future racing.
So Rogue symbolizes it. We were the first of our school to participate in this competition. And the tree obviously represents the 3 members of our team.
How is your team going to fare today?
I think that every team has just as well as opportunity as any other. So even if we're a new team, we believe that we have every opportunity to win.
The design of the car was influenced by aerospace, and I think that kind of sets the car apart from the other cars, because due to like restrictions and the fact that we couldn't do in-person testing, I used different like methods of predicting the speed of the car and things like that. So it was a great experience, and I think that sets it apart.
So excited, honestly. Nervous and excited, mixed emotions. It'll be brilliant because our progress we've gone through so much, and we're really excited to see this car move.
First race, Rogue 3, Newcastle West and Limerick, Sirocco, the Institute of Education, Dublin. This Sirocco car has a really, really interesting design. The axle goes over the top of the body. Incredible.
Yeah, and with the bearings exposed like that, it's hard to know what will happen at the end line here. But 1.588 for Sirocco is good. 1.2, excellent stuff. There has been a little bit of fixing on that Sirocco front wing, but it is good to go. That Rogue 3 car really has minimized its weight. I felt it is very, very light, really on the dot, 50 grams. And yeah, excellent design too.
So Rogue 3 put themselves in the top 10. Sirocco crossed the line, but we've got an incident on track.
Aaron, can you tell me what happened?
So really interesting concept design here on the Sirocco car, where you've got the axle over the top of the car. Not something you would have seen before, but particularly interesting design concept. The problem with that, when you've got long axles that are exposed from the body, is that you've got potential for brakes. And that's exactly what's happened here, probably at the worst possible place, where just in the middle of the bearing, you've got the axle splitting. And because we've got a really long surface here, it's only got a tiny surface area at the end. It's quite hard to repair that. So we did manage to repair it for the last race, but unfortunately we're gone again. And so that's going to be the end of Sirocco Racing's day on track, but we'll do everything we can to get them back going for the knockout. Yeah, again, it's really hard when you've got that long axle pointing out from the body and it breaks in the bearing. And that's going to be a tough repair job for the knockouts, but we'll do everything we can.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it lines up alongside Rogue 3, but it has to sit this one out. So Rogue 3 will race alone here at the third race. And that's a great time with 1.256. They have gone 6th overall in terms of fastest time. And yeah, last race, the bearings in that car really, really moving well for Rogue 3. Really slick design as well. So very, very good.
The Mayo colours as well. We won't say anything bad about that.
Incredible
performance. Incredible performance there from Rogue 3 overall, and they're into the top 10, 7th overall on average time.
I think it's a very effective competition. It opens up a lot of opportunities for young people in STEM fields, as well as providing potential scholarship opportunities and open up in careers into engineering in the future for all of us. We've been added continuous meme pages and group chats on Instagram, being berated at random comments, and it's like a fun meme war, and we're kind of enjoying it. And I'm really looking forward to the competition to see if all these teams can back up all their talk.
We actually competed last year as Ingenium Racing, and we decided we'd give it a crack again this year.
What makes the car we see in front of us so fast?
The lesser drag coefficient, the faster it should go. We put a load of research and development and a load of like blood, sweat and tears into this car.
What has piqued your interest the most in taking part in the competition?
There's DCG elements, engineering, physics. It's a very unique program and it's a great experience to be involved in it.
Again, two experienced hands here. Celerity Racing last year competed. So did Team Ruby Racing School, Ordskull Namara. Very experienced school there. Let's see how they get on. Really interested to see how the times way up here.
Yeah, so Celerity lining up here.
So this wheel broke off during the race, which means that their race is classed as a DNF. So now what we'll do is we'll get Mark to go through the fixes here, and we'll try and glue this wheel back together, and we'll try and have it race ready for the next one. Simple enough fix, but hopefully we can have it done in the next 5 minutes and we can race again.
Paul, interesting fashion choices there. As we watch the replay, you can see the wheel come off the Celerity car.
Yeah, just to note, Aaron, I think it was raining that day inside in the warehouse, so that's why I kept the cap on. But no, it's Celerity that we got the fix done, and luckily enough, we had it was easy enough to fix, and they're good to go for the third race, or for the second race, sorry.
Celerity again, but something has come off that car. It's another DNF for Celerity. Let's look at the replay. Yeah, you can see that wheel right off the back of the car. Unlucky. Lights out, away we go then. Ruby Racing take the win again, 1.83. That's a big improvement for them that they've gone on the far lane. I'm wondering, is that the fast lane? Seems to be the best times coming from that side. Last race for this pair. Let's see who can come out on top. Celerity will be hoping to get a win on the board.
And Celerity do get across the line with a 1.911. That's a bit of a dip in time there from Ruby Racing. Doesn't see them into the top 10, unfortunately.
We just feel very proud of ourselves because we're the first girls team from Kinsale to be in this competition and to represent our school. And it was a really good learning experience. We did a lot of things that we would have never learned before if we didn't do this competition.
Yeah, and we also feel like we've inspired like younger years to maybe give it a go that they mightn't have like thought of doing it before.
We've kind of broken the barrier for F1 and girls in our school.
So, the bright pink of Bolt against the black and blue of Revolution. Revolution, of course, local rivals with last year's national champions Quintilux and St. Bridget's Loch Grey. Interesting to see how that Galway battle stacks up overall. It's lights out now and away we go.
So across the line here, and that's a really, really tight finish there. Revolution take a 1.929. Aaron, talk to me about this lightning bolt feature on Team Bolt's car.
I mean, again, the aesthetic value seems to be slightly higher maybe than the aerodynamic value, but to be honest, it's one of the nicest looking cars I've seen. Very bright pink, almost like an old racing point car. Really, really interesting design. Revolution take the win there. Big improvement from them to go down to 1.7. See, can they get even faster? I like these golf ball dimples on the back wing, trying to use that Coanda effect. Really interesting.
Yeah, Revolution, I think their bearings may have kind of eased up a small bit. They seem to be moving a little bit quicker there. Again, an improvement of 1.646. So consistently getting quicker for Revolution. This is a really, really promising team, a newcomer school again. Yeah, really interesting design. I think that's a very cool kind of middle section of their car body. Let's see how they get on in the fourth race here.
Again, Bold not doing too bad here on the time. So 1.941 is probably going to put them in the top 20 so far, is it? But overall, the time's not good enough to get into the top 10, but great performance from both teams.
It's really interesting just to kind of crowd around the computer with your friends and call online and just really design the car and put your own little personal aspects into the car, the color scheme and all that.
where we started ages ago, and we've been through about 3 different versions of our car so far. We have had to completely redesign it from the floor up to get to where we are now.
Well, all of us are big fans of Harry Potter, so we decided to incorporate that with our team name. So Nimbus would be the name of a very fast broomstick from the Harry Potter series.
We really enjoyed making the car and just everything leading up to it. So even if we don't win, we'll be really happy with just having something that we did during transition year.
So this is a little bit of a local derby. It's Dublin, it's Kildare. Let's see how they get on. That Omega car, Paul, we had a quick look at this before the race. Looks like those wheels are liable to come off there. They're very loosely attached, unfortunately, for how it arrived. Let's see how they go.
Okay, so this is a major incident here.
So here we've got the Omega car. We're just after the first race, and unfortunately we have got 3 wheels dislodged here. So there's going to be a bit of a repair job needed here. We're going to send it over to Mark, try and get it done over the next few hours, but to be honest, it looks like this is out of the time trial racing, but we'll do everything we can to get it on track for the first round of the Knockout Cup.
Yeah, that repair just taking slightly too long, which is really unfortunate because that car was really quick, even only on 1 wheel when it got to the end. You can see there the wheels coming off. One thing we haven't mentioned so far is that that was a great time from Nimbus, newcomer school, and I think that puts them straight into the top 10.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Nimbus. Yeah, so I sat in on their verbal presentation. Really passionate team of 4 teenagers. Excellent performance so far, and they have 3 races left, so let's see if they can improve.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Omega car is going to have to sit out. We'll do everything we can to get it on for the Knockout Cup. See how Nimbus do. Lights out, away we go. This looks quick.
Yeah, with a 1.407, that car was just straight all the way down the line. No real, swerving back and forth. So excellent stuff. They've swapped lanes now. So this is the 3rd race. Again, Omega looking on there as Nimbus gets a race alone. Really unfortunate sight.
Wow, that's quick. 1.286. That only puts them a few hundredths off the lead here. I wonder can they improve again?
A time that Harry Potter will be proud of, and most definitely. I think they've really taken inspiration from the Nimbus 2000 that we might have seen in the Harry Potter franchise. And another great time, 1.321 for Nimbus. That puts them in the top 10 at 8th overall. Very good time. Well done.
So we look down the leaderboard now, we see some of the other teams participating there. Great performance from Flight Racing. Gonzalez then, 21st, 22nd, we've got Revolution. And rounding out the leaderboard at the moment, we have Silent Flyer and Omega Racing, and lots more still to come.
I've learned so many things, and being independent and going off and doing things by yourself and having your own power to go out. And it's like, you have the control, you have to do this yourself.
It'd be pretty impressive if we won, I think. And exciting too.
I think it would be an amazing thing, because then it would be like a badge of honor that we could wear for our school.
It's been challenging at times. We've all known each other for 4+ years, so we gel really good, and we work well as a team.
What has piqued your interest the most since starting taking part in F1 in schools?
Me and Rowan kind of were big in on the marketing side of things. Darrow was really interested in the whole engineering side of it.
What are your chances here today at the Irish National Finals?
If we won today, it'd be absolutely amazing. We think we have a pretty strong chance looking at everyone else.
We're all hoping it goes well.
We wish everybody else luck.
Well, let's see how these weigh up on track. We've got the uniquely designed SEE car up against the even more uniquely designed St. Pat's ultrasonic car with that big, I think you'd call it a shark fin coming straight down the middle of the car.
Yeah, some really thin features in this car. It'll be interesting to see how it holds up at the end of the race here. And we do have an incident with St. Pat's at the DNF. Let's see what happened.
So I think if you look at the replay here, it's really hard to see. You can see a little white object just sneaking off the track there. That is one of the wheels on the St. Pat's car. And again, eagle-eyed from the judges, but it doesn't make it across the line before that happens. So it's a DNF.
Good. So this is the second race between SEE and St. Pat's.
Again, though, it's a DNF from St. Pat's. Let's have a look at what happened here. Oh, no replay this time. Seems like one of those wheels came off from what I remember on track, Paul. I really, really want this team to set a time. It's a really interesting car design.
Yeah, one thing that you don't see on the St. Pat's team is they have a lot of undercuts as well, so they've really minimized their weight.
That's
and
really
they do
close.
set a time here with a 1.483. St. Pat's on the board here. SCE just a little bit behind, but let's see if they can improve for this next race.
Yeah, great to see St. Pat's get on the board. Want to see every team setting a time. And yeah, let's see what SCE Racing can do here. Can they close the gap?
St. Pat's across the line first again with a 1.442. SE with a 1.7. They do get themselves on the leaderboard, but unfortunately, neither team will make the top 10.
Our car, we based it on around using environmentally friendly resources. And one of the features that we're really proud of is using the PLA plastic, which is biodegradable, and we use it for the wheels.
I think I've learned a lot about sort of 3D design and design work.
Your car is about to take to the track. How are you feeling?
Excited.
We hope all our hard work's about to pay off.
Basically, we've all had a big passion for Formula One since a young age, and we all decided when we saw this advertised that we'd love to take part, and that's what we've done.
So we put a lot of like aerodynamic thought into the car that we designed. Lots of research, lots of wind tunnel testing went into it.
I found working as a team is important, and reaching out to local people, and what you give is what you get.
Just keep coming. Again, it's another local rivalry. It's Kildare against Dublin, Swift Swoosh against TAPA F1 here. Paul, what are you expecting from this race?
Yeah, I think this is going. I'm not so sure about that back wing from TAPA and Swift Swoosh care. I do think it's all made from the official F1 Schools block. I'm not sure if there are any 3D printed front wings or back wings there. So let's see if they can withstand the impact at the end of the race here. And there has been, TAPA did slow down there, so maybe there was a little bit of friction. Those bearings maybe not moving correctly, but they might have loosened up to the second race.
Yeah, I think unfortunately what's happening here is that front wing design is just catching on the tether line. It's getting a lot of friction there, but let's hope they can get across the line this time. Oh, and there's a wheel gone there, I think.
Yeah, you just see that just as the car is being launched, the wheel has detached itself from the car. But we have deemed it race-worthy again. We've got the fixes done for the third race. Yeah, there has been a change in the tether line there now. Now it's being hooked through over the front wing. So maybe they'll be able to get across the line here.
That's how away we go. It does look better this time for TAPA. In fact, so good that they take the lead in that one. 1.851. Great to see.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it looks like those problems with the tether line has been fixed. Unfortunately, that's the issue with having a front wing that's so low down, especially running through the middle of the car, where it interferes with the tether line. And again, unfortunately, this one slows down, but swoosh across the line with a 1.93. They'll be pretty happy with that, Aaron.
Yeah, if we look at the replay here, just very abrupt stop there for the TAPA car. Again, that's just unlucky with how it's anchored to the tether line. These things you've got to live and learn. Unfortunately, we move on to the next race.
I think it's great. I love the different aspects of the competition. There's so many different aspects to it, from the business and marketing side to the actual engineering and designing the car.
I definitely found the engineering aspect really interesting, because it's a completely new thing that we hadn't done in school before. And yeah, working with all the kind of 3D printers and the CNC machines was really interesting for me personally.
Very good. So here we have Dragonfly versus SCC. That Dragonfly front wing does look very similar to one we've seen earlier on the Silent Flyer, but it is looking like it has cleared the track, so it should be good to go. SCC here on the left. And Dragonfly just limping over the line there with a 2.4, but SEC at 1.5, not a bad time at all. I should be proud of that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of
Brilliant work there from the SEC. That's a competitive time. Probably gets them into that top 20, does it?
It
No,
looks like
just
those
a little outside.
It looks like those Dragonfly wheels are made from steel, which has added a lot of weight to the car, unfortunately. But they do get across the line here. SEC with the win again. With a 1.6, Dragonfly with a 2.6, almost a second behind. Unfortunately, let's see if they can improve in the third lane. This Italian-inspired car from SEC really, really moving well, which is great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it just shows how competitive that top 20 is to break into when the likes of that SEC car just about staying outside. Let's see what they do here. They go 1.633. It's not enough to break into the top 20, but final race now, and let's hope it goes well. Dragonfly going to line up on the far lane. SEC here in front of us.
As you can see, we have a camera angle there. All our cameras set up to get as much of the action as possible. And SEC get across the line there with a 1.544. Dragonfly with a 2.4. You can see there the top 10. It's not much to split them are only 16 hundredths of a second.
Working as a team, this gave us a chance to socialise with our friends.
What does your team have in store for us today?
Well, we hope to have the fastest car anyway. We're definitely bringing our end game, that's for sure. We're definitely aiming for first place.
What would it mean to you to get that first place, to be crowned Irish national champions?
It mean a lot to our team because we've worked so hard since we started working on this project back in November. All our hard work would be shown then.
It was certainly challenging, but I think as a team we all helped each other, and I think it's been really enjoyable.
Like we're beginners to the whole kind of F1 and schools thing, but yeah, I like our front wing. I think it's a lot. You wouldn't see it on any other car. I'd say that much about it maybe. And yeah, I'd be fairly confident. I think as a team we kind of pulled together, and yeah, happy with it kind of.
So here we have two great cars. That CSLR car, really, really interesting design, but a very, very exposed front wing. Yeah, Aaron, thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's an interesting front wing. And despite what looks like a kind of heavy design, it's actually really, really light, the CLSR car. So I'm interested to see how it goes. And it actually seems to nip ahead there, does it? Let's have a look at the finish line. It gets across and Renault Seguia, so close.
Wow, Aaron, let's talk through what happened here.
So we're going to go and have a look at what happened to the Renault Seguia car there, because that is agonizingly close to the finish line. So, wow. That is about 1 inch short of the line. You can actually see it here on the finish cam, just how close that car came.
Next time, let's hope they can get across the line.
This is where the laser is pointing right the way across the track, so when the car passes the laser here, that's accurate to within, what, 1,000 of a second? So, yeah, really, really close to finishing, but maybe next time. This is only the first race.
So here we are, second race for Renault Seguia and CSLR. Renault Seguia hoping to make it across the line this time, and I do think that they'll be successful. Let's see if CSLR can win this race again.
Again, the CSLR car seems to be slow off the mark, but it really picks up towards the end of the race, and it gets a clear 6/10 between themselves and Renault Seguia here.
Yeah, Renault Seguia with a really nice finish in their car there. Really nice colour scheme as well, which is great to see. Let's see how they get on in the third race here. They've swapped lanes.
I think there might be a friction issue as well affecting Renault Seguia. It seems to slow down there in the middle phase of the track, and that is so unlucky. Not what you want to see. Stops just about 2 meters short there, but CSLR quietly putting in great times.
Yeah, from the same school here as Sting Racing, which we would have seen earlier. I'm sure there's great rivalry in the school over the last couple of months there. But here we are for the fourth race and final race, and Renault Seguia just pulling up short again. But CSLR 1.7, they should be happy with that. Renault Seguia did set a time, so well done. Not enough to break into the top 10 for both teams, unfortunately, but they go again for the Knockout Cup. So here we have the overall leaderboard here. We have a number of teams who have raced now, and yeah, it's these races are coming pretty quickly, Aaron.
Yeah, pretty thick and fast at the moment. So that was your top 40.
How was it keeping on top of everyone and making sure everyone pulled their weight?
It was hard in difficult
Yeah, I mean,
times.
because we're friends, all we want to do is just have some fun, you know, like
Make
we're
everyone
laughing
laugh.
a bunch of the time, just joking around. So, do you know, I suppose when we finally realized that this is something that we all want to do, we sort of all agreed that, yeah, do you know what? It would be kind of nice to actually win this competition.
There was a lot of teamwork required in this project, and I think through this competition we really came together because we were a group of friends before this, and this helped us develop our skills even more. So our car is, we try to make the car as lightweight as possible since it was a drag race, and our whole aim was to make it as streamlined as possible so there are no hard lines or any rectangles in the car.
So we bring the action from this race to you from Mandela Park. We received these cars slightly behind the rest of everybody else. So we only have one camera angle, but still plenty to see here on track.
Yeah, really nice backdrop there of Martin Baran's collection of Formula One cars and Le Mans cars as well. And I think Sunny Clips for the win there are not bad. They're on the left. And let's see how it goes here. We have an incident. Aaron, can you talk me through what happened?
So we had a wheel coming off that Nova car there, but all fixed and ready to go again for race 3. See, and again, we've got a wheel coming off the Nova car. The car is quick, but it just needs to keep that wheel on. Let's see who can take the win here. Final race.
Team Nova have it, I think, with a 1.5. Not good enough to break into top 10 again. And I think we're back to Mandela Park again for the next race again, Aaron.
We are indeed. It's velocity versus precision racing, a same school rivalry. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this one is for the bragging rights here. Let's see how they get on.
And precision racing take that one. The 1.705 there. So look, velocity on the left. Who's going to take it again this time? Precision racing 1.886 again, just about ahead.
Started off pretty close there, but let's see. Velocity have a chance here again.
Precision take it again. Is it consistent? About 10th between them. And final race here from Mandela Park.
Oh, and not much in that last race there, Aaron, but very good. I think velocity, I say precision, can take the bragging rights home to Gonzaga College.
I think we've really hyped it up this year. As in last year, we were a lot more, we were a bit more nervous and timid during the competition. Like when we started off, we weren't really sure what we'd do, and we were a bit put off by all the other teams. We started off. The reason we got interaction with the other teams was through Instagram and through PR.
I think it would be probably the best thing that's probably happened in my 6 years in secondary school. If we won, I'm certainly for all of us because, well, it just means a lot to have an achievement in the school and represent the school on the world stage.
Olympus Racing, I love your team name. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you came up with that?
Yeah, so it was derived from the Greek mountain, Mount Olympus, which is the tallest mountain in Greece, and it is said that if you climb it, it's a prestigious event, and we wanted it to kind of represent our climb to the top.
Here we go then. We have Celtic Racing in the near lane, Olympus in the far lane. Celtic, Paul? Any pronunciation preferences, I should say?
I'll have to ask then. I'm going to say Celtic from now on. But I could be wrong. Celtic, if you want to get in touch with us and tell us if we've been pronounced it wrong, we apologise. Olympus there with a 1.996 take the win. Celtic did take part last year, Aaron, or at least some of the members did. Can you remember how they got on last year?
Yeah, some good times last year. This car is well designed, but the problem is that front wing is catching on the tether line. We've seen this with a few teams, and it's slowing them down quite a lot. And again, Olympus just about taking it there. There seem to only be 2 or 3 car lengths in it.
See, Celtic start off there very, very quickly and get out of the blocks quickest, but just unfortunately, that friction is really, really hindering their progress halfway down the track, and then that allows Olympus to overtake them basically. So let's see how they get on. They swap lanes there.
Yeah, so we've changed the orientation of how the tether line goes on, and wow, look at that. That's quick. There's a big difference there. It's a 1.485 from Celtic Racing.
Very good time. And they see what a lot of teams do now is they incorporate the tether line hook, or the guide, I should say, into the front wing, which allows it to pass through the front wing unhindered by the actual front wing itself. So that's an interesting design choice for a lot of teams, but unfortunately Celtic haven't got it incorporated. But they have a quick time here again, a little bit of swerving down the line, but they do get across the line in a 1.549. Olympus with a 1.9, quite consistent, and they should be happy with that. Either team breaking into the top 10, unfortunately, but some good times there as well.
FAF stands for Fast and Furious Racing. We felt it was very suitable with the nature of the competition. As a newcomer team, I feel like we are very well established. We have probably one of the best team colours. The red and black go so well together on the car as well. It's looking amazing, to be honest. We're very confident in the car. I feel like we could have one of the best cars in the grid.
What would it mean for you to be crowned Irish national champions here today?
It'd be incredible altogether. We would be heroes. I mean, going to the World's probably one of the first teams in the school to do something that's international.
Your car is about to take to the track for the first time. How are you feeling?
We hope it doesn't fall apart. We mentally know it's not going to fall.
No, we're meant to be hyping it up. Don't say we're not that confident. We're very confident. We put loads of effort into it, and it's going to pay off.
The competition has been amazing this year, and obviously that's what makes this whole thing so much fun. So we're excited to see how this goes.
So this is a race that I've been really, really looking forward to. 2 very vocal teams on social media. Aaron, if their cars are as good as their memes, I think we could be in for a world record here. Let's see how they get on.
Absolutely. I've been enjoying these so far. It's Team FAF Racing rather than FAF Racing. And who gets across the line first? FAF Racing taking the win there.
So really good. Really, these teams reaching out to other teams and trying to get everyone involved and interacting online as well, which is great to see. Let's see how they get on against each other. It's me recording for our own social media.
That's it. I don't think Paul Flynn's Instagram game could be just as good as the Zenon one or the FAF one. Incredible performance there, but FAF getting across the line first, and that time puts them in the top 10.
So Zenon hoping to improve here. Really, really cool design, really slick design. Yeah, they've shown to be quite good competitors here. Let's see if they get on here. Well, unfortunately, they don't.
Racing.
Yeah, I think with that end line due, Aaron, I think FAF were moving too quickly to get picked up by the camera. That's always a good sign. Here's the 4th and final race. Let's see if Zenon can get the better of FAF here. And Richard there with just the final touches to the track.
Yeah, excellent performance from FAF all around here. That puts them into the top 10. They're sitting there in 8th on the average time list. Zenon again, great competitors, but just not enough to break into the top few.
Well, we feel like we've learned a lot since last year and improved in every aspect of the competition, and we're hoping for a better result than last year.
So we actually believe simplicity is the key. So we actually introduced an air tunnel underneath our car, which will let air pass all around the car, which will make our car more aerodynamic.
Love it.
So this is Star Racer's car here. Unfortunately, he came in 16 grams underweight. So as a penalty, for every gram underweight that you are, you have to have 2 grams applied to your car. So which we've applied 32 grams of weight to the bottom of the car here. And yeah, unfortunately, that's the penalty and the price you pay.
So what we did there, Aaron, is we put it on the bottom of the car. Just we didn't want to hinder the aerodynamics and the flow of the air on the car. You might remember Star Races. This is the same team that actually had fastest car in last year's F1 in Schools National Finals. And fortunately, they do pull up a bit short here. Let's see how they get on with Raptor 1.688. So what we've done here instead is we've moved the weights from the bottom to the top. Unfortunately, we did have to compromise the aerodynamics, but we want to get them across the line. Raptor Racing going very, very well there. The extra weight for Star Race is really, really the determining factor for their race time at 2.2. Raptor consistent with a 1.694 again. Aaron, thoughts so far?
Yeah, again, you can see that Raptor racing car seems to be missing a back wing, so they'll obviously pay for that in the specifications. Star Racer's doing well this year in terms of overall specs, but that weight penalty is really killing that race time. Not what you want to see. Great design car, but yeah, just not doing the business on track at the moment with that extra weight.
Yeah, and still a really young team. They are third years in Dublin. This is the first time I think the school from Lewisburg in Mayo have taken part for Raptor Racing. So they're going quite well. Let's see how they go on the final race here.
Absolutely.
Do get across the line.
Yeah, 1.658 for Raptor Racing there. Neither break into the top 10. We still see Vortenova on top overall, but 11 to 20, it's bookmarked by Ground Effects, and then Hadron at the end of that. Flight Racing 21st, Revolution in 30th, and as we move down then towards the 40s, we see Star Racers down in 40th place, Ruby Racing there 37th, and we still have a lot of races left to go.
Well, we were brainstorming for team names, and the idea behind Vroom came both for the speed of the car and the track and the whole thing of promoting women in motorsport, both by ourselves and with our sponsor, Formula Female.
When we were designing the car, we believed to go more simple than elaborate with our front and rear wings as well as the car body. So that's one way we believe that our car was stand out from the rest, be like the simple design that we went for in the structure.
So how did you come together? Are you good friends in school and in the real world?
Yeah, no, we're all very close, and we're really brought together by our love of engineering, STEM, and just really like we're the dream team.
Definitely. I think in our interviews as well, our mentor, our teacher, he really saw our connections and how our dynamics work as a team. And like our group right now is working really well together, and we don't have issues with telling each other if we like something or not. So I think that's a really good thing to have in a team.
Aaron, this is an all-girls affair here. Really exciting teams. I think this one's going to be good. Really two really very, very good designs. That's Vroom Racing, very small compared to the Defiance car. How do you think they're going to match up?
Yeah, absolutely. This is interesting. It's Limerick versus Kerry, as you say, two of our all-female competitors, and Defiance seem to get away quicker. It's a 1.306, but something's happened on track. And yeah, it's just some tape applied there at the end of the line to that Defiance car. Seemed to have a bit of a break once it hit the towels.
So the race time still stands, and their front wing has been put back together. Good to go for the second race here.
Wow, that was close. There's only 100th of a second between them. Vroom just about sneaking that one. Let's have a look at the replay.
Vroom getting off the line quicker, but Defiance catching up in the second half of the race.
Let's have a look at this.
Pick it up.
So we're waiting, and wow. So you could just see the Vroom car getting ahead slightly there. There's literally just one car length between them. That's how close it is over the 20 meters.
There's always a big debate over the length of the car, and what do you prefer? You know, having the car as long as possible or as short as possible?
So it's interesting, right? I think as short as possible is the way to go, but Defiance proving me wrong here. And wow, is that 1 millisecond between the cars there? We've had an incident on track. I think it's that Defiance car has shipped a bit of damage again.
That was an excellent race, tightest race we've seen so far.
Unlucky for Defiance, unfortunately they are out with that damage sustained in the last race, but lights out now, and away we go for Vroom Racing. It's a very quick time. It's a 1.421, and not enough for them to break into the top 10, but a great performance from both all around. Defiance do sneak into the top 10.
So our front wing has end plates and vortex generators to try and force turbulent airflow from over the wheels away from the car to create a slipstream for the car to travel through.
I think we have a very good chance. You know, I think there's I think a lot of teams have put a lot of effort in to the competition, but I think we're confident in our team's ability to perform in the race today.
So then it is Harp Racing against KPH Construction. That KPH car, one of the nicest designs I have ever seen. Incredibly well painted, well finished, and looking forward to seeing that on track. Lights out, away we go. The Harp car gets away quickly. It gets away very quickly. It's a 1.401. Getting ahead there of KPH. We're going to need to try and catch up. Again, it does seem like that far lane is the fast lane, and Harp Racing taking advantage of that at the moment. They've broken into the top 20. Can they get even better this time? They don't improve, but it's still a good 1.432. KPH with a 1.885. They'll want to try and improve now that they're on the better lane. And can Harp Racing keep this pace up? One of the really interesting things about the KPH car is that wheel design with the spokes inside it. Really interesting approach. This one is close. Wow, look at that. Only a few car lengths. And Harp Racing again with a 1.447. Final race then. Harp Racing against KPH Construction. An all Kerry derby, of course. Forgot to mention. So this one really for the bragging rights. Can KPH make a dent in that Harp Racing lead? Way they go. Something comes off the Harp car there, so that's a DNF for them. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, just at the start gate, it actually gets obliterated there, the rear wing. It's just completely gone, and leaves KPH to complete the race by themselves. So unfortunately, neither breaking it in to the top 10, and we move on to the next race.
Yeah, I suppose the reason we got involved is because we all have an interest in F1, and that kind of brought us together to do this F1 project.
So it's AT Racing then versus DSL. It's Kinsale versus Selbridge. And the DSL car again, one of those really interesting Selbridge cars. Tall white wheels. They've been going really well. Interested to see what the time is going to be like here. It's a pretty quick one from DSL, but something's happened on track. We've got an incident.
So here we have the AT Racing car, and so we've had the issue with where the front wing has broken off the car. So it was meant to be here, but what you can see is that the wing is actually, the wing support structure is directly in front of the holes for the tether lines. And so this kind of shows us the importance of planning out your car with regards to the tether and making sure that it's nice and clear and that there's nothing obstructing the tether line. So unfortunately, the AT Racing car is going to be out of this race.
Mark Caffrey's been on track duty all week. He's been repairing cars. Any bit of tape or glue you see is thanks to Mark and his work during the week. So unfortunately, AT Racing going to sit out the rest of these. DSL are going to have to compete them by themselves. And that looked pretty quick. It's a 1.551. Don't improve on their first time. They'll be eager to try and break into the top 20 here. So DSL on the near track again. They're in lane 1. We think this might be the slower one. Let's see if they can break that trend. Lights out, away we go. What's the time? It's a 1.423. They do improve. It's not quite enough to sneak into the top 10. Final race then. DSL Racing. AT unfortunately sitting it out due to that front wing breakage. They actually do slip into the top 20 in the last one. Can they improve again? DSL, they want to go up a rank. They do. 1.419. Excellent performance there from DSL Racing. Not in the top 10 overall, but a great set of times.
Well, we're a unique team. We've got an impactful team name. We've got the best brand identity in the competition. And we've got a car design that's been inspired by numerous scientific principles that will impress. In addition to that, then we've kind of able to show that maybe 5 lads who people wouldn't have thought could do anything at the start of the year have come so far and are the best team in the country.
So, you know, it's a national final now, guys. You've done a lot to get to this far. What would it mean to you guys to win an award or perhaps even get the #1 spot?
Oh God, yeah, great.
I mean, a lot to us because there's only 3 in the team and we worked so hard towards it, and that was one of our main goals. We set a goal for ourselves. We hope to achieve it.
Brilliant. Well, let's hope it pays off. Thanks so much for speaking to me, KLDL Racing, and best of luck.
This is it then, the final pairing. So the KLDL car arrived with a bit of a break, but we were able to fix that. So that's not going to race in these ones in Ballina, but it is going to race in a follow-up in Mandela that we'll show you after this flat-out race. So race 1 with flat-out, lights out. Let's see how they do. The team from Cork, very vocal on social media and TikTok. It's a 1.451. Excellent performance there. Now we watch KLDL in the rerun in Mandela with their fixed car. Let's see how they do. Again, it's a 2.579. They'll want to improve on that. They know that they've got more pace. Again, that broken wing probably causing a bit of friction there on the tether line. Let's go back to Ballina for flat out though. Again, excellent social media performance from this team this year, and their enterprise interview, one of the best we'd seen. Away they go. Let's have a look at that. Sneaks past over the line. 1.466. Again, it's a good time. They don't manage to improve though, and they'll be looking to sneak into that top 20, as will KLDL. First time participants from Ross's Community School, and they just don't sneak across the line there. So very unlucky there for KLDL. That wing friction again, just really hurting the track time. Back to Ballina for flat out. And away they go. So 1.451. Again, great performance for flat out as we move to Mandela to see KLDL. They make it across the line this time, 2.7 there. Good performance from KLDL. Again, newcomer school there and great engineering portfolio as well. Some fantastic feedback for them. So final race then, flat out in Ballina. They make it across the line with 1.553. Don't manage to improve. Great set of times though. That'll seed them well for the Knockout Cup. KLDL then improved their time at 2.5. Excellent performance. But overall, it's Fortinova that take the title of fastest car. 11th place, we got Invictus. 20th, got DSL Racing. Nova rounding out the top 30 with their time. Flat out making it up to 21st there. Celtic Racing up here in 40th, Study Clicks in 38th, Gonzalez Racing up to 36th, Tintruck Racing, that really nice car, in 48th, and down at the bottom of the leaderboard we have some of our cars who couldn't participate. We've got Neon Concept and SBC Dungannon, and we'll hopefully see a bit more of them over the coming days. So thanks a million for tuning in, everybody. Congratulations to Vortanova, our fastest car winners for 2021, and we do it all again from 7 o'clock tomorrow when it comes to Knockout Cup.